Shameen, my dear friend, my entire team in Ashwasan, because of whom I'm here today. I'm absolutely delighted that I'm here wanting to spread these beautiful words, hoping that this will spark up some aspects of your life in a very beautiful way. To begin with, I think infinite self, how do we define that? Let me begin with a question for everyone here. Where does everyone think the memories, the feelings, the thoughts of every human being are registered? Where do you think all your feelings, thoughts, memories, where do you think it is registered? Mind? Okay. Any others? Heart? You're close. Go ahead. Should I blink the eyes? Okay. Well, maybe it may sound bizarre, but the truth is, everything you ever feel in your life, all your thoughts, the entire knowledge that you've gathered through your lives, it's all registered in your soul. I'm sure for many here, soul is a very abstract word, but to me, as a person who's born with the ability to live in a very different world, none of those areas are bizarre. They are very scientific. They have a clear-cut scientific phenomena behind that explains it all. And I'm here to bridge that phenomena back to this real world that you are seeing, so that we can complete the circle together. Now let me explain this when I said everything that you ever lived in your life is registered in your soul, right? Now, many of us here have experienced concepts of hypnotherapy. Yes? Very familiar term, hypnotherapy? Okay. Now, in hypnotherapy, there is something called as past life regression. Is it familiar? Past life regression is one of the techniques in hypnotherapy where a person who's very keen to know about his past life goes for this therapy. Now just imagine if a person who goes for a past life therapy is to get to know about his past life, going through the subconscious mind, how would that mechanism happen? Your previous life would have had a brain which would have probably been buried or burnt. This is your new brain, right? How would the therapist access past life information with the new brain? Please feel free to speak. Okay. The reason why that happens is because the information he tries to gather via the subconscious suggestion therapy is not from the brain, it comes from your soul. And that's why we all talk about mind, body and soul, not realizing what role the soul plays in this whole circle. And to really understand the infinite self, I would like to share about my life from the very beginning of my life, hoping that sharing this information, I'll be able to bring more clarity in how this discovery of infinite self can reinvent the wheel all over again for you, bringing what is called as contentment. Now, I was somewhere around 2.5 years old that I could register in terms of me articulating it to you. To me, the whole world was just like the most brilliant world one could see, but I didn't know that I was alone in it. I thought every person around me was living the same world that I was living. To me, seeing every person was seeing millions of lights in their mind and body, and all these millions of lights integrating with itself was showing the entire mechanism of the person's human body. Everything there is to know how the stomach is functioning, where the thought processes are coming from, how the person is going breathless, probably there's an infection in the lung, so on and so forth. That there is one infinite ray that would emit from the soul, and that ray is actually present in your heart. It's like this laser light passing through your heart. And the most beautiful aspect of that is that all our souls are connected. At this point of time, all of you sitting here, all your souls in the unconscious level are talking to each other. However, you don't know each other on a physical level. Or you probably know each other on a physical level, but you don't know what your unconscious side is talking to each other. So just imagine that if the whole world is connected in the unconscious zone, if all our souls are connected, which means that is your infinite potential, isn't it? We talk about accessing the internet, but if that's within you, the accessing of information is right within you, can you imagine how much more you can discover? Not only about yourself, but your relationship with the whole world. And coming from there, I used to keep looking at my little friends around and get very amused because I would see these little girls running around and saying, "Hey, my name is Neha, what's your name?" I used to wonder, why are they introducing each other? Because to me, I knew them, and I couldn't figure out why are they running around and trying to introduce each other. And suddenly it hits me. They're probably seeing me the way completely different. I'm not able to see what they're seeing. And there were many times I would run back to my father and say, why is it that I see so much more and I'm not able to communicate with them? My father would be like, no, Beta, that's really okay. Just go along with it. The world I was born with, the world that we take for granted, if you really see the brilliance there is to see in it, believe me, every waking moment in your life, you will be thankful to God that you're alive. Just to know what is the miraculous creation called humanity. The science that we are about to discover together today is far more brilliant than any science that one can even begin to create. Because this science that I'm talking about with you guys is the infinite science. There is no limit. There are no boundaries. The more you discover, the more there is to know. Now, giving that reality of infinite connection that we all have, I lived with it for some time. Now, how I discovered my whole knowledge was through experience. Like I talked about these millions of lights. I was about 5 years old, and I would notice these lights actually nothing but the aura. And I would see this hand of mine coming out with this energy system. It's like a hazy ball of light coming out of the hand, which is possible with everyone. And I don't know why, without me doing anything, it would automatically be drawn towards another person's aura, which is going dimmer. I quite didn't understand why that used to happen. I just let it go. And I think I was then 6.5 that this whole process was urging me in a way that I need to figure out why this happens. And there was a little boy in my school who was known to be very notorious. And he started running around the staircase, and I knew this guy was going to fall. Sure enough, he tripped his feet and he fell down. And immediately the same thing happened. The light was drawn towards his knee. I had no idea why I did what I did. I ran towards him and I put my hand on his knee. We little kids both laughed, not knowing what was going on. And suddenly when my hand was automatically taken, it was almost as if it's like an intuitive system. It's automatic. It's not something I'm planning that I keep my hand